In this video, we'll be covering the latest chapter of Choujin and discussing what we can expect in the upcoming chapters. Let's get into it. Chapter 46 begins with Nude, Tokio, Palma, and Ely sitting on a train. Nude seems to be bored and says to Tokio that he needs to use the restroom. Tokio and Nude go to the restroom, leaving Palma and Ely alone at the table. Ely lets Palma know that she doesn't really trust her because of her past working with Tower and selling bodies for money. However, she ends the conversation with there being hope for their relationship, saying that there is a chance for them to become closer as Tokio trusts Palma, so Ely is also ready to do so. I think Ely and Palma would get along very well, especially based on the way that they act. We move to Tokio standing outside of the toilet as Nude is taking a dookie. He begins to scream, saying that his dookie clogged up the toilet, so Tokio ends up going into the toilet like the dependable guy he is and fixing it. He ends up having to use some toilet paper and ends up finding a card lodged inside there, which was planted by Nude, which says Mini. This causes Tokio to become a palm-sized version of himself. Nude ends up grabbing Tokio, and before he realizes it, he's being flushed down the toilet. We pan back to Palma and Ely playing a card game, with Ely complaining that Palma isn't very good at the game. Suddenly a card stating stone appears in Eli's hand, and we see in the next panel that she can't move. Nude returns to the table, kicking it in a comedic fashion. Palma's confused on what's going on, but ends up grabbing Ely and running, because she realizes that Tokio isn't there. He begins to shuffle a deck of cards while chasing them, and grabs a card stating Spark on it, electrifying some of the passengers on the train. It seems like the deck of cards is Nude's Choujin power, with any card that he manages to draw becomes reality. However, it seems like he does have to shuffle the cards for any sort of card to become reality. It kind of reminds me of Kite's power from Hunter x Hunter, where he has to shuffle a roulette in order to get some sort of weapon that's best suited for the situation. Moving back to Nude, the next card he pulls ends up being a loser card, which nullifies his control over Ely. Before Ely could do anything, he ends up pulling another card which states dance, causing Ely to dance uncontrollably. At this moment, Palma attempts to beastify herself, but seems to be running into some sort of trouble. This is due to her use of Zamba a few chapters ago, causing her to lose control of herself. The fear that she's experiencing is something similar to a mental block, like a writer when he experiences writer's block. Tokio manages to make his way back to the crew and tries to give some information to Palma on how to transform, describing it as goosebumps over her body. Tokio manages to take Nude's deck of cards and punches him in the face, causing his card to fall on the ground. Before Nude manages to pull another card, Palma tackles him, allowing Ely to package him using her package Choujin powers. She must have taken these powers from Masao Chikabo, which appeared much earlier in the manga as the package Choujin. She must have consensually taken Masao's powers, allowing him to return back to normal life, without him having to worry about attracting any Choujin towards him, which may have put his life at risk. The chapter ends with Tokio congratulating Ely and Palma, saying that they did well, and Eli's dancing was good. It seems like in the next chapter, we'll arrive at the poppy fields on Daizo Island. Once they arrive at the coast of Higo, they are likely going to fly to Daizo, as suggested at the end of last chapter. Hence they'll need Eli's help. There's a chance that Tokio will run into some trouble while flying Nude over to the island, but with Ely having the packaged Choujin's powers, it may ease his flight to Daizo Island. Hopefully, next chapter will see some development in the lore and the world, as the opium field has a huge importance in all of Yamato. If we're able to find the ones that manufacture the opium, pulling the plug on Zora and Tower will push the tides of power towards Yamato Mori. This would make Zora incredibly weak, as she would be rendered useless, as opium allows her to stay as sane as she can. Without it, as described by Arthur 1, she may be unable to retain her current form. As for the poppy fields, it's likely that we'll run into an organization that will want to stop Tokio in his tracks. This may be members of the tower itself, such as ICE, or maybe an external group that may work with the tower to ensure that Zora gets her opium regularly. As such, it's likely that Tokio will have to fight some people in order to ensure that the opium fields no longer operate, which will be exciting to see. Thank you for watching today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing as I will be covering chapters on a regular basis. Have a good rest of your day, take care, and see you in the next video.